Ridge, thanks so much for the time and appreciate you coming on this morning.
Oh, I don't think it's technical difficulties. I think he's just okay. Okay. Hey, Trick. Nic Nemeth here. Hey, listen. On NXT on Tuesday, took out Trick, laid him out. What's the reason behind this? Why'd you do this? Are you looking forward to the main event of Deadline? What put you in this headspace here?
Well, first off, hi Nick. It's good to see you. And the reason why I did it was because I can. You know, from destroying Chase U, I just got a taste for it. So I just wanted to let Trick know that I'm not here to play games. You know, he likes to laugh and joke around. Like I said, he's a stand-up comedian with abs. I'm not here to laugh. I'm not here to joke. And when he's head at that table, hopefully it knocks some sense into him and he realizes that Deadline is in for the fight of his life. And I hope he enjoys these last couple of hours with that NXT Championship because he's coming on with me.
Damn.
You know, Ridge, knowing what took place on Tuesday and what's probably the physical condition of Trick Williams after what happened on Tuesday, how confident are you walking into that match at Deadline on Saturday?
Oh, is this?
Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, I just off the top of my head, Ridge, knowing what you did to Trick and watching his head bounce around on Tuesday, are you confident knowing that you've hobbled him going into this match for the main event, or was this all part of a plan? Was this always the plan? Are you a little nervous? So you thought you had to take him out? What were you thinking of here?
The main goal has always been the NXT Championship, and it's all about taking opportunities. And I took an opportunity on Tuesday to soften Trick up. That's all it is. And you know, I said he was soft. He's a lot softer now, and I'm going to pick the bones at Deadline. And you know, is he brave or is he stupid? You know, we'll see. We'll see at Deadline because he's in for a really rough night and something that he's not experienced before. And you know, it's going to bring me quite a lot of joy and a little bit of inner peace as well. You know, when I stove his face in.
All right, let me try this again. Knowing that Trick is injured, you know, how seriously are you taking this match on Saturday with Trick? Knowing he's not going to be 100%, how serious are you taking this match on Saturday? Go ahead, Nick.
Ridge, clearly Trick has been hobbled or maimed ahead of time. How does your headspace going into the main event of that match feel now? Did you have to do that? I know you said the championship is the goal no matter what, but did you have to take him down a notch to know in your mind you'd have a chance?
I did it because I wanted to. I just felt it, you know, and he needed to know he was out there disrespecting me. So I needed to let him know who he's getting in with, you know, what's going to happen. And, you know, with Trick, it's not as if that I want to hurt Trick. It doesn't come from a place of want. It's, you know, I need to hurt Trick because I want what he has, you know, and it's not really personal, right? My name's been dragged through the mud for the last 3 years, okay? And everything I do is built out of spite for everyone that's dragged my name through the mud, everyone that's poured dirt on my name. I become NXT champion. I'm going to shove everyone's words down their throat. It's going to bring me a lot of joy, you know, watching them choke on their words. And I said on Tuesday, I win, which I will. NXT changes for good.
I know you're not answering my questions. I know we've had issues in the past starting at Halloween Havoc. I know I've been critical with you on the air. I was critical of you at Halloween Havoc, but you know, I do have to ask you some questions. We do have a PLE to promote. And listen, I even said on this show, Ridge, that I would be willing to fly to Orlando, Florida, sit with you face to face, knowing how physically, you know, like listen, you could take me out with one shot and I would be hospitalized. I know I know that when it comes to physicality, I am no match. I know, face to face, but I am willing to talk this out with you face to face. I stand by what I said at Halloween Havoc, but at the same time, I've been critical, but I've also praised you. Like I have said on this show, what you have been able to accomplish over the course of the last 2 months in NXT is nothing short of phenomenal. You went from people not speaking your name to now being in the main event of a major NXT PLE. That is not just deserved. That has been earned by you and what you've been able to accomplish. So I am willing to give you credit where credit is due. I know I've been critical in the past, but I'm also giving you a lot of praise. And I am looking forward to this match coming up on Saturday. I've actually said on this show, if you ask me to predict what's going to happen on Saturday, I think we're going to see a new NXT champion. I really feel like, Ridge, after what we see on Saturday and maybe after what we saw on Tuesday, that we're going to get a new NXT champion. I am willing, Ridge, and I've said it before, now let me say it to you face to face. I am willing, on my own dime, to fly to Orlando, sit with you face to face and talk about it. And who knows, when I do that, I may be sitting across from the new NXT champion. Are you willing to sit down with me face to face, have an exclusive interview for Busted Open, just you and I?
I can't possibly remember all the things that Dave just said and be a schmaltzy. But listen, Ridge, from the Busted Open team, if there were an olive branch extended, if Dave were to make the effort and come down to you, and possibly as you're the new champion, could there be a way to sit down, iron this out, and give you praise where it's due, but also criticism where it's due, but a face-to-face with Dave? He doesn't want to fight, but you could actually get a stone cold version of an interview with answers, with questions. If Dave does the extra work here, are you willing, possibly as a new champion, to sit down and have a genuine, deep interview with Dave?
Dave's willing to put his hand in his pocket and come on down, and I don't need Dave's praise. I don't need anyone's praise. But yeah, as NXT champion, I'll have a few things to say. I'll have a few things to say to set the record straight. So I'm not going to rule an interview out with your friend Dave at all.
That's promising. That's Dave. That's something. That's we're talking here. Baby steps.
Because I have to, and listen, I am not going to just be a shill. I am going to speak my mind. Ridge, when you do the actions that you do, perfect example is Tuesday night, big championship match, then you do what you did to Trick Williams. By doing that, and I know that you don't care, and you may not answer this question, and that's fine, but by doing something like that there are going to be people critical of those actions because there is a big championship match. Some might say that maybe you needed to do that in order to win the match on Saturday against Trick Williams. Again, I'm just throwing that out there. And I am willing to say that we're probably going to see a new NXT champion come Saturday at Deadline.
You mentioned that NXT Championship, Dave, and you've called me a lot of things in the past, and piece of garbage, a human piece of garbage. And what would you do if you were in my position? What would anyone do? Searching for redemption on my terms, looking to save your own career, looking for a way that you could continue to put food on your family's plates. What would you do? You'd go to the ends of the earth, no matter what, to feed your family, right? To show people that they were wrong, to make them eat the words. And I'm not just talking about the fans. I'm talking about peers. I'm talking about the office, So I will do, and I have done, whatever it takes to make people think differently about me. And I'll continue to do that as long as I'm breathing air. Pretty simple.
Is Saturday an opportunity for you to spit back in people's faces that didn't believe that you would be in this position to begin with?
I tell you, it's all about spite. My motivation is spite. It's all born out of spite. Everything I do is getting to those people through Trick because they love him. So, you know, Trick wants to blame me for hurting him. You don't need to blame me. Blame those people. They love him, you know. So the only way I can get to them is through him. It's pretty simple, really.
Speaking of getting through to people through others, Eric Bischoff was also on the show in NXT on Tuesday, and you guys had there was an interaction there. Can you go into some details on what that was like, or other than your mindset going into NXT Deadline with the title on the line?
You know, Eric's, of course, is no stranger to controversy. I think he was the perfect mediator, if you were, for me and Trick. But the thing that annoyed me is everyone's heaping praise on Trick, you know, like bullying Trick up. He's nothing special in my eyes. Yeah, he's got the NXT champion. He's had a pretty easy ride, you know, if I'm going to be honest. He's had an easy ride. He's not come up against anybody like me, you know. And all it does is fuel the fire. People want to praise him. They want to knock me. They want to praise him again. They want to knock me. Think that I'm not good. Think that I'm this. Think that I'm that. Eric was the same. He come out there, you know, praising Trick, and he just fuels me. And honestly, if it's a good job that I did cut Eric off, because it might not have just been Trick that got his head bounced off the table.
You know, Ridge, coming up Saturday, Deadline, main event, you versus Trick Williams for that NXT Championship. Safe to say match of your career on Saturday, the biggest match of your career?
It's the biggest moment of my life.
Wow.
Everything rides on this. And I'm not doing it for anybody else. Okay? It's me and me only. And Trick's had a good run. I'll give him his props. Okay, I'll give him his props. He's entertaining. He's charismatic. You know, the people like him. But like I said before, I'm going to make them cry. Those people, and it's my mission when I become NXT champion. Every Tuesday, they come to that arena. They think they own the show. They run the show. Okay, they come there to forget their problems. When I'm NXT champion, every Tuesday, I'm going to make it miserable. I'm going to make it so they hate the fact that they have to come and watch and have me shove in their faces how pitiful that their lives are, and shove down the throats everything that they've said about me. So, yeah, it's a big moment, and it's not going to be a good night for Trick Williams, and it's not going to be a good night for all those fans that support him.
You said something that in certain interviews to me stands out for people. Dave said, "Is this the biggest match of your career?" And you said, "No, it's the biggest moment of my life." And it's really easy in wrestling to intertwine your outside life with being in the ring and everything that's happening. And when you say it's the biggest moment of your life, that really says something even in the wrestling business. Now, if there's a chance in hell that you somehow don't win, how do you assess that next Tuesday?
I don't know that if I somehow don't win, then that unleashes a bigger monster. Because then it's like I've got nothing left to fight for. So what have I got to lose? I might as well destroy everything. You know, it's either way, whichever way you look at it, win, lose, or draw, things will change, and I'm going to squeeze NXT around the throat and take it to an inch of its life.
Rich, I appreciate the time. You're just, 2 days away from, like you said, the biggest moment of your life, the biggest match of your career. Trick Williams, Ridge Holland for the NXT Championship, streaming live on Peacock, 7 p.m. Eastern Time out of Minneapolis. NXT Deadline Saturday night, and Rich, I do look forward to taking that trip to Orlando because I do want to sit with you face to face and do that interview and hear that other side of who you are, not just as a performer, not just as a professional wrestler, but as a man. So I know the way that you feel about me. I know the way that you feel about some of the things that I've said about you, but I also think it shows the type of man that you are, that you came on this morning to share your time before such a big moment. So thank you for that. Truly. Thank you.
Pick your words wisely, Dave. That's all I'll say.